I'm going to show you how to invite true administrators to manage your device, the devices that you share with them. You can share some of them if you have multiple units on your property, or you can share all of them if you want them to be a true administrator. What a true administrator means is that they will create a login to this web portal and the same web portal that you're using, and be able to manage and manipulate the device that you have, to be able to add users, see a history, delete users, um, change the times, change a time group, change an open close schedule, all of those things that we've gone over in the previous training on how to manage your device. This is how you're going to invite an administrator. It's extremely simple. There's 2 steps that you have to do. They're very basic. The first one is you need to send the email to the inviting the person that you want to be the administrator to the web portal out for them to fill out a form and create the web portal login. The way you do this, I'm logged into the dashboard. I go down here to the organizations button. On the organizations button, you should see a briefcase with the word organizations in this little cog here. You're going to click on this cog and it's going to take you to a window called organization details, and off to the right there should be this blue square with the white plus sign. And if you hover over it, it will say invite new user. You're going to click on that, and then the invite user admin screen is going to pop up. You're going to type in their information, which is their email address first. Type in their email address. This is the email address they will use to log into the web portal. Okay, so you're going to want to use one that they know and they're familiar with. So I'm going to use this email address. Now this button is extremely important. If I keep this box checked, create new organizations, that means I'm the installer who is creating a brand new organization for my customer. So I'm the installer who installed it. I don't want them to see all of my devices in my web portal. I only want to see the ones that I share with them. So keep this box checked, and it's going to send them an email when they log in. When they first log in, they'll see no devices until you share those devices with them, and I'll show you how to. If you are the end user or an installer inviting an admin in your company who's going to manage all of your installations, you will uncheck this box, and what this does, it gives you a warning you are inviting a new administrator to the TS Test organization. User will have access to all TS Test devices. What that means is if I'm installer ABC company and I uncheck this box and I'm inviting my secretary, that means as soon as my secretary creates a web portal login from the email we're about to send, that person will see every single device that's on our web portal. If you check this box, again, they won't see any devices until you share specific devices, which we'll show. So in the case of an end user where you're creating an administrator for your property, business, site, whatever it may be, and you want them to see your devices, you're usually going to leave this unchecked and click next. And what that will do is it's going to save you the next step of sharing device, because you've unchecked that box. They're part of your same organization now. So the example would be ABC Apartments. If I'm the manager at ABC Apartments and I have one device, one PAL unit installed, then I'm going to uncheck this box, send this email out to Jacqueline Coford, and as soon as she logs in, she's going to see that one unit. Okay. If you have certain administrators you only want to share some of the PAL units with that are on your property, keep this box checked, and then we'll show you how to share them. So I'm going to check this box because I want to show you the next step of how to share individual units rather than give Jacqueline Coford access to every device I have installed on in my PAL unit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check that box. It's creating a totally new organization. Again, unchecking the box is adding to them to your existing organization, which they'll automatically see the PAL devices when they log in. Again, installers are probably going to do it this way when adding a new customer. End users are probably going to leave it unchecked when adding an administrator for their property, business, wherever these are installed, just to save some step. I'm going to check that, click next. The rules selection, this is where you can actually drill down and say, what do you want this person to be able to control in this device? So if you go under devices, if it's checked, they can view the device. If it's checked, they can add the device. You don't want them adding any more devices because you're not going to add any more PAL devices, so you'll uncheck that box if you don't want them to be able to add. This is where they can, if it's checked, they can see the log. Unchecked, they won't see the charts, which they usually don't need to. Checked, they can see the users. and uncheck they can see the settings. So what this will stop them from doing is going in and changing any time groups or any automatic open close schedules if you don't want them to be able to do that. I want this administrator to be able to do that, so I'm going to check that box. Places is going to be in another video. You don't really need to worry about this. Users, where they can view users. The organizations, do you want them to be able to do what we're doing and invite administrators and see other administrators? Depends on their status. And then you can go through and just go through all of these, all of this information to really drill down what you want them to be able to do in the software. I'm going to click next. Optional message, I usually don't write anything in here. You can if you want. This will just show up in the email that's automatically sent. Next, and then send. And what that's done is it's sent an email to that email address, and the email is going to say, hello, Jacqueline Coford, you've been invited to create a WebPal portal invitation. It comes from PAL Electronics Inc. Check this junk folder if you don't see it. They'll fill that out. As soon as they fill that out, remember, if you've unchecked the box, there's nothing you need to do. As soon as they fill it out and log in, if that box was unchecked, they're going to see the device, my device here. They'll see it just like here, and then they'll go through and manage it just like you did. Now, if you left that box checked because you created a whole new organization for that person, which we did in this instance, then let me show you how to add them to a device, and you can do this for as many devices as you want. Okay, so I left that box checked, so they call me and say, oh, hey Quinn, this is Jacqueline, I just signed up for the PAL web portal invitation, but I don't see any devices. Okay, I'm going to share those devices with you now, and you can only share the devices after they've signed up. I'm going to click on devices. I'm going to find the device I want to share with them. I'm going to come to settings, organizations, and then I'm going to press the blue plus sign. And I'm going to search their email. So I would search Jacqueline Coford, which she actually hasn't logged in and signed up for her web portal. So it would, if she'd signed up for a web portal, it would pop up right here. I would select her name, and then it's automatically going to fall into this list. And who's ever on this list can now have access to the device. She would log in and automatically see this device. It's that simple. Now she's an administrator, and she's good to go. So again, settings, organizations, blue plus sign, search the email address you sent it to. It will automatically pop up. You'll select it. It will pop up in this view here, and then you are done. And at any time you can come through and delete by pressing the trash can, and then they'd have no more access to this device, and then they are now a true administrator of this device where they can do all of the managing that you've given them access to.